Now, let me introduce my first guest for the evening. He's the host of Afternoons on 774 ABC Melbourne. He's hosted 120 episodes of live television on Tonight Live on Channel 7. Please welcome Richard Stubbs. Yay!
Well done. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that applause.
Would you like some cocoa puffs?
No,
Non-branded cocoa puffs?
No, thanks. I'm driving. It's all right.
Oh, very good. I'll put that over there. Thanks for coming to the show, man.
Thanks, man. Least I could do.
I thought, I'm hosting
Monday.
live television. It's a Monday.
I'm out.
What's on TV on a Monday?
Yeah, nothing.
You've done stuff.
Yes.
Back in the early 90s. I mean, because we haven't done live TV for a long time.
Yeah, I was the Friday host and the filler-inner during the week on Tonight Live for 3 years. I did a few other shows as well, but that's where I did the chunk of work.
Did you like it?
Loved it. It's a Tonight Show. What's Tonight Live? You love it?
I love this.
You got the Kanye? The Kanye was gold.
The Kanye was good,
Man,
right?
they're going to be retweeting that. That was gold. And Tonight Live was, it was exactly like this. The studio was a little smaller.
But smaller than this?
Yeah.
Because we're in community television, but you must have had a whole team around you to put together Tonight Live.
Yes and no. So Steve Weiser was the host, and he did 4 nights a week, and he had a whole team. But when he wasn't on, everyone went, eh. So the EP,
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have an EP. I often didn't have a warm-up guy. I used to warm up the audience and then wait there, and then run around and come back out and do the show.
You were your own warm-up.
Yeah, and I got my own guests because I was doing radio at the time, so I got my own guests. Thank you.
Look, it's live TV, so a lot of things can happen.
Yeah.
I've just had a few coffees tonight, but you've had guests before that perhaps had a few different
People get
enhancers.
scared. People get
Is that
scared when
what
they
it
do
is?
live TV. Look at the face on him. He's like terrified right now. He can barely breathe, and that's understandable. It's it gets scary, and some people, they don't handle the stress well. And I had one person, more than one, but I had one person in particular who came on. She was a singer who had a hit out, and she had a lot on board. She was not
Right.
there. I did that look.
Yeah.
I did that look to her, and there's just like nothing there. And she couldn't talk. She
Just
was,
no response.
no, so much drugs.
So
Just
this
much
was
drugs.
so you were here, she was there.
Yes, live audience is there. A happy, hopeful nation is watching. And
they became a little less happy and a little bit less hopeful.
she couldn't talk. And the awful thing was...
Can you I mean, that happened. You can't say the name.
No, of course I can't. It's weird like on television.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Richard, I got you here to dish some dirt.
But afterwards, I really yelled at the record rep who brought her in because it was all her fault, and what are you doing? It's like, yeah, unfortunately, I live with her now. So, not because of that.
Not your
Later on,
right.
My partner
you're in a house share, or
no? My partner is the partner I yelled at because she brought in the drugged up singer.
that relationship was.
Yeah, thank you. And she remembers it too. I'd kind of forgotten about
That's
it. But
a
it stayed with her.
That's a baptism of fire for a
Yeah,
relationship.
that's right. That's right. Well, we went in a relationship then.
Yeah,
fortunately.
but it flourished. It was like a phoenix from the embers.
Yes, that's right. From the ashes, it survived.
Well, Richard, do you want to stick around for a little bit?
I do. I've got some horror stories I can share with you.
Amazing. We'll throw it back. Are you watching About Tonight? You got a nice rhythm there, Michael. Any updates from the housemate?
Still going.
Still going. At it.
Stamina. I think.
Really?
Gatorades.
Wow.
You are watching About Tonight. I am Paul Culliver. We are live across Melbourne and Geelong. My guest is Richard Stubbs. Richard, how long have you been a comedian for?
A scary length of time.
Since you were born.
Yeah.
Just been cracking wise out of the womb.
30. Is it 30 years of comedy? Yeah, I think it's 30 years.
And so you've grown up now. You went from like this. Let's just assume you were something like this.
Yeah, very similar.
And now you have responsibilities. You have kids.
Can't just be doing gigs. Although, the nice thing is the kids are older now, but they're like in their 20s, right? So that's easy. So I can go to their places now and hang out and annoy them.
Do they like that? Are they into that?
I don't. What? Why would I even ask?
Do you do Are you going to their houses and kind of just going through their cupboards like, well, what have you got to eat?
There's an awful time, and they don't write about it. And it's something I've discovered. Having raised kids from little all the way through, there are all those stages. You hear about the terrible twos,
right?
And you hear about all that. There's a phase, a stage that there's no help book for. They don't write about it, and it's that sudden realization that your kids are having more sex than you are. and nothing's the same after that.
Well, I think I've just got a wah sound effect on here.
Yeah, take it on. I can come back. I've got more. Don't worry.
Do you have like open conversations about this?
Well, I have to, because it's like I know his pain. Well, you got to go. Oh look, that was a bit loud. Could you not do that?
In your that's not good.
All right.
I wanted to talk also about not only Tonight Live. That
Oh
you
yeah,
posted.
I said there were horror stories. So once I hosted, I was the host introducing an Elton John concert, and it was when he was wearing the wig and he looked like
Elton John to our younger viewers.
Musician. Done a bit. And it was live on 2 countries. It was Australia, and then with about 15 minutes to go, New Zealand joined on. I was the host saying, welcome everyone.
So you're
blah,
the
blah.
one. You're the one on
And
screen.
It was ABC, and as only the ABC could. I was at the front. It was in Sydney, and I was at the venue, and they had 2 cameras. Camera 1 had a 2 on it. Camera 2 had a 1 on it. And
That's the wrong way around.
I had the director in my ear, and that was confusing. And then with about 10 minutes to go, I heard Molly Meldrum burst into the director's sort of little caravan and yell, "He's gone! He's gone!" And I'm like, oh, welcome everyone, and he's gone. And what had happened, Elton had cracked it and had left in the wig and the gear and in the limo, and Molly had tried to stop him and got dragged out the gate and then rolled, and Elton had left the building, and I had to fill in 2 countries for like 20 minutes.
And then what happened? They just cut the
Then
pod.
he came back, he was all freaked out. They came back, they followed him with a backpack camera with the director yelling directions while I'm trying to interview with strangers. And when he headed for the stage, they went, no, go now. And I went, Elton John, if I see him again, I'm going to hit him with my car. I didn't work on TV for 2 years after that.
Well, Richard, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming to the final
Just a
live
joy.
About Tonight. Fantastic. People can hear you every afternoon, 1 to 3 p.m.
Honestly, I'm just so glad to be out. It's a Monday night. I can't believe it.
774 ABC Melbourne.
Thank you.
Richard Stubbs, thanks so much for being on About Tonight.